Granny Duck and welcome back for another video, and today I have the tank review in the brand new Tier 8 Premium Tank Destroyer, the XM66F. Now this tank is available to purchase for 1 week only, and you can purchase it from either gold, free XP or silver. So if you've got the gold option, I think it's available for 8,880 gold. The silver is 50 million silver, and the free XP is 170,000. So you can purchase it for a week only by those 3 different options. Now what I'm going to do today, I've got 3 replays to show off the tank, but before we get into those replays, as always, as it's a brand new tank, I'll just quickly go over the statistics of the tank and then we'll get into the replay. So you may have seen the tank, which looks incredibly similar to this tank, and it does play very, very similar, but some slight differences. And that is the Roswell, which is the Halloween mode tank. This is not that tank. It is actually a different tank, has different stats, but it is very similar to that tank and similar in its play style. Essentially, it's the same, the same chassis, the same armor, but what you do is you trade some statistics. This one doesn't have the speed mode and it doesn't have 420 alpha. You have a lower alpha in this tank, you have 400 alpha, but you actually have better DPM. You've got like 150 more DPM on this tank. And although it's the same top speed, apart from when it's not in the speed mode, this tank does actually have better power to weight and horsepower, and better reverse speeds. It's actually pretty good when you're in those sort of ridgeline fights. It has 10 degrees of gun depression and a very good turret armor. So when you're playing hold down, you can bounce a lot of shots in this tank. And I actually, be honest with you, I've actually really enjoyed playing this tank. I prefer it to the Roswell just because that DPM, although it's only a slight increase in the DPM, it really does make a difference. And yeah, I've had a lot of fun playing it, but I've got the 3 replays to show you today. So I'll stop rambling and I'll just get into those replays. Okay, so here we are for replay number 1, and we are on Westfield, where we are top tier and there is no enemy fun police in the game, which is good news for us because we'll be able to play the ridge lines in the north and play hold down without having to get shot from the sky. Now, if you want to see the equipment and crew setup I use in this tank, you'll be able to see it at the bottom of the screen as I speak. Now, as you say, this tank, you really want to be playing it hold down and try and brawl with it and get up and personal. That's how I like to play this. Play it quite aggressively, especially when you are top tier. Having said that, you do still have decent concealment. With the build I'm running in, it's at 260. You could get that lower if you took some different perks on your crew. Now, yeah, so it does have that option to play as a more, maybe if you're in a heavy tier 10 battle or the situation occurs that you need to play as a more of a tank destroyer, you can do that. You have that flexibility. But when you're top tier like this, you really want to be trying to get ridge lines, trying to get hold down and to get up in their face and try and use that DPM and get that gun slinging. So this is the perfect opportunity really. Being on Westfield, I've got this nice ridge here, and because there's no artillery in the sky, well, I have to worry about those artillery fun police rounds from the sky. That's really going to help out because I'm going to be able to go hold down. So here we go, we get to this position here, find a couple of tanks on this other side of the ridge. Should be able to get a finishing shot on this enemy tank destroyer, which we do. Doesn't really have any hit points for us, but nice way to start the game, picking up a kill there. Get a secondary shot in, and we're just going to try and just use this ridge line and get as many shots in as we can. You do have APCR on this tank as the premium rounds with a shell velocity of 1,240, and on the standard rounds you have AP with a shell velocity of 1,067. 232 penetration on your standard rounds and 276 on your premium rounds. So it's enough to penetrate most tanks. We're going to try and get another shot here on a kill shot on this enemy heavy tank, which we do. We do start to eat some shots from the right hand side, so we've got to be a little bit careful of that. But I think we've pretty much mainly cleared out this side. I know there is a tank destroyer up which I'm struggling to spot, but our medium tank's pushing forward and he does in fact spot him for us, and he gets absolutely deleted, that SU. We pick up another shot of damage, putting us onto 1,600 damage with 2 kills and 11 enemy tanks remaining. Now I've got two choices at this stage really. I can even push up to sort of like the B sort of 6 ridge and try and spot the enemy tanks on the other side to get shots in, or I can go back to defend our base area. And I've kind of got the feeling at the moment that a few of the enemy team are going to start pushing around to our base. So I thought it might be a good idea to get over there and try and defend, because I might be able to get some damage. And that's really where I'm trying to head, is just where is the next bit of damage going to come from. And I just got a feeling that enemy team are going to come that way. And if they do, we don't really have many of our friendly team that side, so I should be able to get over there and get some shots in. And as you can see, the enemy medium tank is crossing, and I'm hoping to be able to catch that tank out in the open and to get as many shots in as we possibly can to pick up that extra bit of damage here. There is 2 tanks. Like I said, I'm not worried about being capped out, because they can't cap out when I get over into this position. And we've caught out a top tier enemy medium tank, and I'm just going to try and get as many shots as I can whilst remaining hold down. And you can see I'm ricocheting these shots there, or these snapshots off of that enemy British medium tank there. Should be able to get a final shot in, hopefully. And yes, we do actually roll high enough to pick up the kill as well, putting us onto our 3rd kill of the game. And now we're farming this enemy poor tier 6 medium tank there, putting 1 shot into him. Should be able to get a secondary shot into this medium tank before he gets into cover there. Unfortunately, that shot doesn't go true and we miss it, which is a shame. It actually does mean he gets into this cover behind the church. And I really just want to get rid of that medium tank, so I don't have to worry about that angle, because I just know he's just not going to peek us at the moment. So it's going to be a bit of a nuisance. But saying that, he does peek us. He comes around that corner and we put a big shot in. Now putting him onto a 1 shot, but if I would have hit the other shot, he would have already been killed. We have started to apply cap pressure. I'm really hoping we don't cap out, just because I know there's quite a lot of damage still left in this game for us, and I want to try and maximise on that. I'm going to ignore that 1 shot medium tank for the time being until we can finish up and pick up a kill on this poor little tier 6 OE here. We do pick up that kill, confirming our 4th kill of the game, putting this on to 3,500 damage. 5 enemy tanks remaining. We've got this 1 shot medium tank here. Does he poke us? Is he going to poke us to give us a 5th kill? He does, and we pick up our 5th kill of the game. Like I say, 4 tanks remaining now. We do still have cap pressure. Unfortunately, bounced a shot on that enemy tank there, which is a shame, because he's going to keep us proxy spotted, which makes our life a little bit awkward. So we really would kind of want to pick up the kill here. We do pick up the cupola kill, which also confirms our 6th kill, gives us an opportunity to pick up a Devastator, or maybe even a Radley's here. Also, I'm pretty confident we're going to get the win. Unfortunately, I just got my suspicions that we're not going to get out the cap circle at this point, which means my time to get damage is limited to sort of 20 seconds. So I'm going to try and get as much damage as I can in the 20 seconds mark here. I would like to at least get another shot in. Now I'm kind of wanting to pick up that 7th kill, which would be really nice. We should be able to now pick up the shots on the Churchill, but as you can see, we're just not going to get in the cap circle. Otherwise I would have picked up the 7th kill there if we did get out of the reset. So we get out the cap, but unfortunately our team wanted to cap that one. So we do end up with 4,600 damage, 6 kills, and just shy of 1,000 assistance there, confirming the high caliber. And that's it for replay number 1, but we've got 2 more replays to come, so let's move on to the final replay. Sorry, the second replay I should say. Okay, so here we are for replay number 2. This time we are top tier again, but unlike last replay, there is 2 enemy fun police to contend with here on Lakeville. So initially we're going to push a kind of standard position on this map at the start if you don't want to play the 1-2 line in a tank destroyer. And I don't want to do the 1-2 line, because although I can go hold down up there, I don't fancy getting shot by the 2 enemy artillery, because that doesn't sound very fun. So we push this sort of central position and hope that maybe we spot some stuff crossing to get the easy shots in. Now we do spot quite a few tanks on the actual same line as us here, but we also spot a few tanks who have tried to cross, and this enemy AT-15 is caught out in the open. So what we're going to do now is try and farm this AT-15 while he's spotted. We bounced the first shot, but now we have these cupola shots here. We high roll slightly for 414, and yeah, we should be able to, if this tank stays lit here by our friendly light tank, we're going to be able to farm this tank and probably pick up a kill. Get a nice shot in blind, but unfortunately he does lose the spot here. so we're going to have to try and shoot some different targets. Enemy light tank gets spotted crossing. We get a lovely shot in, which also damages his engine there. Puts us on to 1,500 damage, and had a really nice start to this game. Tried to get the blind shot on that AT-15, wasn't to be. But with our friendly tanks now pushing up down the in towards the town area, they should start to spot those tanks. If they continue to push, or actually be able to get cross shots in to help out our tanks in the town. But I need them to, try and push and entice the enemy team to come into town to give us those shots to cover them. If they stay where they are, our friendly team, I'm not going to be able to help them if if the enemy team don't actually push in and get detected here. Got to keep an eye out on the 1-2 as well, just in case we start to lose that. Because if we do, then I may have to, make a decision where I either turn around to defend my base or push. I'll make that decision, based on the information I have at the time. But it's just something to keep an eye on. Going to try and get a shot into this enemy heavy tank, which we do, but we do get spotted for it. So we need to pull back down into cover here where we can play hold down. Like I say, against tier 8 tanks, the turret can be very, very strong. As long as you don't show your whole armour is pretty trash on this tank. It's really the only part of armour you're going to reliably bounce is the turret, but you can bounce a lot of shots, as I say, especially when you're using that gun depression. We get a shot into that enemy tank destroyer, which puts him into a one-shot. He does snapshot one into our hull, but he does lose his tank for it, so that's good. But you can see we're starting to lose this game. As you look at the 1-2 line on our base, we're starting to lose that base, and that's not going to be good, because if we lose that base area, they're going to be able to collapse in, and we're in danger of getting pincered here. So I've got a decision: do I continue to push forward, or do I turn around? And I think the best thing for me to do in this situation is actually turn around and defend the base and try and stop the tanks coming down the 1-2 line to be able to push round this corner and essentially get shots onto our friendly TDs. I want to try and stop that happening, and in order to do that, I need to try and get into a position like here. Now, unfortunately, I missed a shot onto that enemy heavy tank there, but we've got more opportunities to potentially squeeze in the shot, and we're in a good position here because we can stay hold down, and as long as we don't lose the town behind us, then we're in a we're in a situation where we only have to fight the tanks in front of us, which is always what you want to be doing. Because on this tank, one thing I forgot to mention is you can't rotate the turret all the way. You can only rotate it sort of halfway, so it's just something you need to consider. We put that enemy heavy tank onto a one-shot. We're going to try and squeeze in a shot there into the cupola, putting another enemy tank onto a one-shot there and put us into just shy of 4,000 damage. We are still losing this game, but we can finish off that enemy KV-3. That would have been really helpful. Unfortunately, we bounced the cupola shots. We opt to try and get another shot into the cupola. Again, we do not penetrate, and we end up eating a shot off of that enemy Polish heavy tank there, in order to, which is not ideal. I really want to get rid of one of these tanks just to deny the angle, essentially. So I'm waiting to see if that enemy Polish heavy tank pokes us. If he does, we should be able to take him out. If we get rid of that tank, that frees us to go and kill the KV. Because like I say, we are a couple of tanks down here, but we are actually up on hit points. Although we are a few tanks down, we are actually up on the hit points, which is good. We do manage to squeeze in a kill shot onto enemy Polish heavy tank. That confirms our first kill of the game, but also frees up the opportunity to go and kill this enemy KV here, which is what I'm going to do. This time we do pen the cupola, picking up a second kill of the game, puts us on to 4,300 damage with 12 penetrations. And we know there's another one-shot tank here, so we're going to go around and finish this tank off. We can afford to eat a shot if need be, but we don't have to. And that picks up our third kill. Brings us back to a more even 5 versus 6. And as you can see, we have doubled the hit point pool to the enemy team, which is actually really useful information to have. So I'm glad that that was a positive change, bringing in the hit point pool on the top, which is very useful. So we are still down on tanks, but up on hit points. I'm going to push round now. Now I'm starting to get a little bit concerned that our team started to lose, pushing to through the town. I need our friendly teammates just to try and stay alive here. I'm going to try and sneak up on the enemy artillery, because most of the enemy team are sort of in or around the sort of town area, and I'm hoping that I may be able to sneak up on the enemy artillery in order to help out a team and then get a position to basically get map control, because once you've got map control it makes it a lot easier to win the game. We do have a friendly tank destroyer coming with us, and we actually spot the enemy artillery, which is nice because I know we can actually sneak up on this tank now. I'm taking a wider route and trying to get, trying to do the safe route. I want to try and make it so the enemy team can't get multiple angles on us. You can see the enemy tank destroyer spotted there, and can hopefully try and force this enemy artillery to run. We do pick up a shot there, putting him onto a 2-shot to us, and I think he's just going to drive around to get shot at by our friendly heavy tank or tank destroyer coming around there. Can we pick up the kill here on the enemy artillery? Unfortunately, we get lucky that we bounce a shot off our enemy SU, and we do pick up a kill there on the enemy tank destroyer, but the artillery gets shut down by our friendly platoon mate. And there's only one, sorry, not platoon mate, friendly teammate, and there's only one enemy tank remaining, enemy tank destroyer, and we're trying to find him to see if we can pick up our 5th kill. I think it's an enemy challenger, but looking at the hit point pool, yeah, he's only got, he's a 1-shot to us, no hit points left here, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get the kill. No, I'm not. But that brings us then to replay number 2 with 1 replay to come. So this time we do pick up 5,000 damage, 4 kills, 700 assistance, and the 2nd class and the high caliber. So let's move on to the final replay. Okay, so here we are for the final replay on Live Oaks. This time it is tier 9 matchmaking. And again, we do have to contend with 2 enemy fun police. Now, we're deciding we're going to go and try initially to go down the track location and try a lap down here. And it looks like we do have quite a few of our friendly teammates coming this way. So we should get the overmatch on this side. So I'm either going to try and win this side quickly and then push and try and trap the enemy team in their base. Or we may have to win this side quickly and then come back to defend our base. But either way, we're going to initially go this way. We stop to get a shot into that enemy medium tank. It does get spotted on the way, and we get a good start to that game, rolling for 414. It's always nice to get that early damage in. But as you can see, we're pushing forward here with the majority of our team going this way. Only sort of a few tanks sort of defending our base area. And I think it's been quite well. It's about 3 or 4 tanks been spotted this way. The rest of the tanks generally in this map is kind of camp at the start to sort of the C23 area. So I'm hoping to win this side. Then I'm either going to push across to spot all those enemy team, or like I say, I'm going to have to return to the base to try and defend it. But we only really have a top speed of 35 kilometers an hour, so it does take us a little while to get in position. I think it'd be nice if it was a little bit quicker, this tank, but you do get that top speed fairly quickly, because of that sort of increased horsepower. So it doesn't feel the end of the world. It's not so slow that it's really unbearable to play, but it just feels like a little bit extra speed would be nice. Now we have taken the early lead, and then it's quickly got back to an even Stevens, 14 versus 14. We have sort of won this area of the map, and enemy T30 has now got caught crossing in the open, and we are definitely going to take the opportunity to try and focus out a top tier enemy tank destroyer who's caught in the open of the map here. If his tank stays spotted, we're essentially going to free farm him. So we pick up a 2nd kill. We then get shut down by our friendly ISU, and we put us on to about 1,600 damage. And I kind of got the sense right now that the enemy team are going to start pushing across towards our base. So I'm thinking right now that the best play for me is probably to come back and defend the base, and that's been confirmed by these 3 tanks now being spotted here. So I want to try and get back to try and get the cross shots in before they're able to sort of cross and come behind us. I don't really want that to happen. And also, it'd be nice to try and focus out these light tanks, which make our life a lot easier here. So we're coming across at the back. Like I say, I want to try. I suspect there'll be a few tanks coming out of the town, which will probably be going down the AE line, and I want to just be in a position so they can't just free cross all the way over and then come back behind us. If we can catch them out in the open, we're going to be in a good situation, to be honest, because we'll be hull down and be able to use our gun depression on this ridge line and just be able to get 3 shots in, with them being difficult target for them to pen. And here goes exactly what we did. We managed to get here, just in the right time in order to get a couple of shots onto this enemy heavy tank before he crosses. And now he's really kind of stuck behind that building, because if he pushes any further, I will get shots in. Enemy E50 gets spotted there, so I was looking to try and get a shot into that tank. Unfortunately, we don't quite have shots there, but we do have an opportunity to get one into this enemy light tank here, which puts him onto a one shot there, which is good. And we'll try and finish him off if we possibly can. But unfortunately, he just loses the spot. And at the moment, it's still a pretty even game, pretty much even on hit points and even on the 9 versus 9. Missed that shot on the heavy tank because he just matrixed us and just moved at the wrong time. But this enemy E50 has got caught out in a really awkward situation. He really should just get deleted for this. He's just trapped in the open middle of the map. We get 2 shots in, put him onto a 1 shot. And then we somehow ricocheted or missed the final kill shot, which is a shame. It means no one else hits him, and he actually gets into cover. And he's kind of lucky to escape that E50 there. But we do at least put him onto a 1 shot. And I'll just trying to get shots in where I can here. I'm on about 3,000 damage, but there's still plenty of damage available in this game. 1 shot E50 here. We're just waiting to see if we can get a shot in. If he stops and pokes there, we're going to be able to get the kill shot in. We do. Picking up our first kill of the game here, putting us on to just shy of 3,600. And I can't get shots into that enemy heavy tank who's behind that building, unfortunately. I did take a pop shot just in case it was destructible, but it's not. And I'm now taking a slightly risky route to try and kill this enemy heavy tank. Mainly being that the enemy tanks, if they're on the sort of B2-3 ridge, they might get shots into us. So we've got to be a little bit careful we don't push too far across. I'm hoping my medium tank's about to light them. If there was any tanks there, he should spot them by our medium tank in the sort of 1-2 line area. Because it's still a close game. I don't want to throw this game away, but I also want to get close enough to try and pick up more damage out of this game and maximise as much, get as much as I can. I'm about 4,000 damage, but there's a lot of potential to get more. Enemy Sturv gets spotted there. Awkward tank for me to pen. I can pen the Cupola, but also got lightning accuracy, so I have to be careful he doesn't pen us there. And 3 tanks have been spotted in the town. I'm going to try and get a shot into this heavy tank whilst I can, put them onto a 1 shot, and obviously it's a Soviet heavy, so we're able to shoot his engine deck. There's a good chance we might even set him on fire there. But he does, I think, gets shut down by our friendly ISU 152, which is nice. It's freed up that angle. I don't have to worry about getting shot from the A67 angle now, and that frees me up to push further, push more aggressively, get under this ridge and continue to spot these targets for my friendly team, and hopefully get shots in or pick up the assistance for spotting them. So like I say, I should be able to caress this ridge here, use my gun depression, and I've got a good feeling I'm going to be able to spot some tanks here. And we do. 3 enemy tanks get spotted. We're going to get the kill shot on the 1 shot light tank. We eat 1 for it, but we pick up, like I say, kill the light tank. There's only 1 enemy light tank remaining now, who is also on a 1 shot. Enemy bar gets spotted. We try and get a shot in. Now the bar, I do not want to get slapped by the bar, but because it's gonna hurt. But also, he doesn't really have any gun depression, so it'd be awkward for him. We get a shot there into that J Panther as he tries to leave. And we're just going to continue this advance into the town. We need our friendly team to sort of come with us now. Like these enemy team are backtracking into the town. Try and get the kill shot on the enemy light tank. Use a 1 shot with no hit points left. Kind of annoying because I would have liked to have got that kill shot, so I don't have to worry about turning for this tank. I can't really turn for that tank, and might get shot from the enemy team who's fled into town. So I'm hoping my friendly team take care of him, and he does. Our friendly medium tank kill the enemy Batchat light tank. And 2 enemy tanks remaining. I say 1 is the enemy bar and 1 is a Sturv, who is actually pretty healthy. But at this stage of the game, even if I die, I like to believe my friendly team would get the win. So I'll try and get a shot into the bar. Unfortunately, I couldn't quite turn the gun because of the limited turret reverse, and he moves forward to stop me getting the shot in. Now we get 1 shot in, but I kind of pushed in too far here. The bar swivels on the spot and finishes off and then gets taken out. So it's a shame I died. I was a bit more patient. Maybe I'd have got a few more shots in, but at the end of the day, I thought I was going to win. I just wanted to try and get as much out of that game as we can. As I say, unfortunately, I do die. I don't pick up any more. But we end that game with about 5,000 damage and 2,000 assistance. And we do pick up the second class there. Like I say, it's 1900 base XP or close to 2000, but you know, the tanks can just come out, so the first day the marks are always a lot higher for the masteries. So I definitely feel like I can get some much bigger games in this tank, and I probably will play it a bit more to do that. But with the tank only being available for 1 week, I wanted to get this replay out as soon as I can. Like I say, it's available for silver, free XP, or gold. But as always, thank you for watching and happy tanking.